This moment has such a beautiful crescendo with you and Mr. Chadwick Boseman, where you're trying to communicate this story about a bus from Tallahassee. It's at a very low energy, and then suddenly it erupts into a physical altercation. What was it like? What was it like playing that scene with him, staging that scene, getting into that with him?
I think the thing that I know about all of our characters, especially Chadwick and my character as well, everyone walked in with their own pressure cooker. And Ma's is just raging. She's just full fire and heat and sweat, you know? And Cutler is on a low simmer, just a very low simmer the whole time. And I think you can tell from the very beginning that there's going to be a clash of ideology. There's going to be a clash in the way we do things. It starts off the moment Levee enters the room and says, "I bought me some shoes," and Cutler's like, and he bought it with Cutler's money. you know, so already they're like, there's already this. They keep missing each other. I do feel that they have a lot in common and they respect each other, but I think that they're pushing each other a little bit. Like Levy's coming in, he is definitely um, he has an intention to be the disruptor, and Cutler is trying to keep everything in line. And even when he tells that story in that moment that you're saying, all Cutler has is his faith. He is a man of faith, and he believes in it fully. And then Levy's character presents his receipts based on the story that Cutler said. He challenges Cutler by saying God hates niggas. God's taking niggas' dreams and throw them in the garbage. God don't care nothing about you. And that cuts Cutler to his core. Why? I think possibly because he may believe that Levee could be right. And then where does that leave a man who all he has is his faith? So it's about, I love that August Wilson puts the challenge of God's will right in the middle of the play. And that's not something that's often done with Black characters. You know, everyone's always like, "Oh Lord, yes Lord," and falling in line. But here's the character in the center who's saying, "Question it." I question it because my receipts show differently. He said, "My experience is my mother was raped in front of me. I was cut across my chest. Where was God when these terrible things happen? I question that He exists." And Cutler, I think the reason why Cutler hits Levee is as if he's trying to stop the sound. He's like, "Don't say any more because I won't be able to live on this earth," especially as a Black man in 1927 who he only has power in this band because of Ma. So he's under someone else's power. He doesn't truly feel that he has agency in the world. He plays in a band that just plays, very simple music. You know what I mean? Basically it's a cover band in a way, you know. And you have someone who's trying to buck the whole system, and Cutler is not for it at all. Um, that was a beautiful scene to play with Chad. It was absolutely beautiful because we had to give it our all. We had to leave no stone unturned, and we had to put Colman and Chadwick into the scene as well. When we did that scene, Chadwick stopped halfway through because he was so bubbled up with emotion. And I yelled at him, "Tell me, tell me, tell me." I refused to let him get out of the scene. Whatever was going on with him, I wanted it in this action. And I've never done that before, but I felt like I had permission. The room felt like it was like, "No, we're going there. Let's go there." And he does. And then I hit him. And then George calls cut. And immediately, without a thought, we wrapped our arms around each other and we sobbed. So we had to go on the brink together. And I had to make sure my brother, Chad, could continue to deliver on the promise that he set up for himself. I didn't know Chad was struggling like he was. No one knew. But I look back now, to be honest, and I do know, I can tell that possibly in that moment, there was a struggle with the words that you were about to say and what you're possibly dealing with and the questions that lie in all of our hearts when difficult things land in your lap that you can't make sense of. why am I dealt this deck? Why did this happen to me? I know I felt that way when I lost my mom and my dad in the same year, right when I was doing Passing Strange. And I thought, well, why me? Why does this happen to me? And my answer for myself was like, why not me? But I still have faith. And I think Chadwick did as well. But there's always those questions. You do question God, you know? I think any healthy person you do question once in a while, based on the ills of the world and what you see, and you wonder. But yes, still you hang in there and you try to have faith, because we need some faith to get through these I don't want to say these dark times, because I don't believe we live in dark times. I believe we live in challenging times, and they've always been challenging times. And I think that's just part of life. And this is what we're dealt, and we just have to find the light as much as we can. How did I get on that? I have no idea.